Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. This is Gordon as they go to him again. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they ended up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them, but I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now a toss coming wide side. This is Gordon. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Oh, he faked him with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. On play action, it's Carr. He'll buy some time right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. The Raiders at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right?
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So they'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Carr. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now a play fake. Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Josie Jewell, the linebacker, getting the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to drop this one down to Gordon. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Fielded at about the 28. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
After the sack on first down, Carr, they'll set up the screen to Montgomery. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
I like the thinking there because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against them. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for them on third down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Carr now on 1st down. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, all knotted up at 7. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throw left side complete. That's Patrick. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the 1st by a few yards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on fourth down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Running right through him. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. A good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Wilson. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Wilson on first down. This will be caught. Judy. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Jerry Jeudy took a step back from his rookie numbers in 2021 while battling an ankle injury throughout the season. They're definitely hoping the arrival of Russell Wilson can help him reach his ceiling as a former 15th overall pick. Jeudy came through there with a chain-moving catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by McManus is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Room for Jacobs there on first down as he takes this one forward for a pickup of about 7.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. Play action. Now it's Carr. Same target. It's Jacobs again. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
2nd and 15. Carr. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
He juked him. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Carr going to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Carr. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! Darren Waller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 1.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield. Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. And they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. The Broncos send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 36. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Carr. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Carr. That'll be caught downfield by Bird. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Counter play with Jacobs, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out, or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game?
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 22, Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos have taken a 4th quarter lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On play action, now Carr. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Third down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. To throw is Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, Carr. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by McManus is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for